Good morning, Rob. How you
Catherine,
doing?
we're working on a couple different cameras here, so you gotta bear with us. So let us know in the chat box. Obviously, the audio, we had problems yesterday. We're looking at a device here. It's called clipping, which we either you couldn't hear me or she was going a little bit too loud. But as we do this on the fly, please go to the chat box and obviously go on our social media, which is the following.
WuVille.Boston.
We have obviously Twitter, Facebook. I'm on my Twitter feed at Berkowise. Catherine, you get it all? Facebook?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Vitali for Boston and Facebook, Catherine Teresa, and YouTube, People's Press Media.
So today, obviously, we give out that phone number, area code 617-915-4009. If you want to call in, give us a second here. And obviously, one of the subjects we're going to talk about is something that's really bad news for Americans, and that's the drug situation. Obviously, with open borders, you have a problem. So, as a congressional candidate, I'm not into the open border scene. A lot of drugs, a lot of death, killing 100,000 people a year in the United States, and we cannot let these folks go under like that. That's not cool. So, Catherine, so tell me about what's your thoughts on the drugs scene here.
So, I mean, it's really sad over here because we have. Excuse.
Across the street from us. And we're flipping between two cameras now. So, with schools, so this is an elementary school here, Boston Public Schools, and the reason we're here, and this is Clifford Park in the south end, and
Rosa, who coaches a football team down here, that he was almost going to cancel the football season because people don't want to sign their kids up to play football here. The
all the time here with obviously when you're playing sports, my background is sports, ice hockey, football, all baseball, all that type of stuff. And when you're out here, you don't want to have anything like that happen. Some kid running, falls down, makes a tackle, picks up a baseball, and you got a needle in their arm or their hand or their foot. Not cool, not a good idea. So, Catherine, as a Boston City Council candidate at large, and you sat in a lot of the meetings, what is the gab inside that Boston City Council about this nonsense?
Well, I haven't heard the Boston City Council talk yet about the police being on stand-in a little bit that way where all the tents are and stuff on Atkinson Street. And if you talk to the people, the residents down there, they'll tell you that this is the easiest place to go in the state to get drugs because it's literally an open market. I mean, you can just deal drugs right in front of the police and nothing happens.
It's funny because I can only relate to some of the rules we deal with people is if it didn't happen to you, you can't talk about it. That nonsense and Mickey Mouse crazy talk. I couldn't believe it. It actually happened to me. I was renting a room. Kid died of an overdose. I said, "What's this all about?" And I know, Catherine, the people your age, I think it's affecting them more and more than the people my age. But you never know. It's just not here, though. It's all over the place, and this is a serious problem.
Yeah, my generation has lost a lot of people due to drug overdose. And another thing that I don't hear the city council or anybody talking about is the crystal meth, because a lot of them are doing meth down here, and I haven't heard any. I think everything is being laced with that anyway.
I'm looking at my Twitter feed, folks. We get a lot of feedback, but listen, make sure you give some feedback on all the issues, whether it's audio, pictures, or cameras. Sometimes we have no control of things, and we do the best we can because we are going live. Catherine, as a Boston City Councilor, and I know you have a personal story with this, what do you think the first step is to get your arms around this thing?
Section 35s.
Explain it.
So a Section 35 is when a family member or a public safety official, I guess, can get a warrant from a judge, basically, if they can prove, they have to prove that the person is a danger to themselves or to others.
Got it.
And then they have them picked up by the police, basically arrested, and put in a holding cell until they get them a bed in a detox program. A lot of people don't like this idea. I didn't used to like this idea either, because you're basically taking away somebody's bodily autonomy and violating their rights by forcing them into a program. But it's a crisis situation. It's a literal life or death situation, and they are putting themselves and others at risk. And if somebody is suicidal, what do? You force them into a treatment program. And I think that taking drugs, even if they're not injecting them, anybody who's taking drugs right now, knowing that a majority of the drugs are laced with fentanyl in the drugs, and they know that there's a possibility that they could overdose and die.
We're right down the street from Mass and Cass. If you look down the parkway, go to the left, you get Mass, Cass, and whatever the hell it's called. Listen, those people down there's a combination of people. There are drug addicts. There are people that have some mental issues, and there are people that have alcohol. I think they keep on using these people as basically as props. They don't want to solve this problem. We want to think, come up with a situation where they can help themselves. But you realize that once you get addicted to this stuff, it's really tough when your brain is rewired to come out of it. So
yeah, but also, and this is where the state comes in, because the treatment programs are horrible.
For
which
instance,
is another thing that nobody talks about.
How's it work?
Living in tents on the streets probably have government health insurance. Mass Health is what it's called around here. And Mass Health all the time in a treatment program. So once you're past that time, which is like 13, 14 days, then it's a problem for you to either stay or get further treatment. And there's all kinds of logistics. And I mean, of course, it has to be paid for. But like I said, we're in a crisis situation. There is an opioid crisis. We saw what they did over the past 3 years because of that public health emergency. So what about this public health emergency? Why are we not making it easier for people to get sustainable treatment? Because if you go to a 2-week detox program, even if you can manage to get sectioned or by a family member, which is very hard for the family members to do, by the way, even if you can manage to get into a program, you're not given that much time in the program, and then when you're done, you're just sent back out on the street. So if you've cut ties with family, or you don't have family around here, or somebody that you can go stay with, or your own apartment, which is a lot of the times unlikely, because why would people be living in a tent if they had an apartment? Then you're set up for failure. And it's just a vicious cycle. People go get a spin dry and detox, and then they're back out on the street. And I mean, if you had to start your life over from scratch and be living out on the street, I would think that I would probably just continue to get high because that probably makes it easier.
So what would you do?
Section 35, everybody. Remove this mysterious police stand down that nobody wants to talk about. There's obviously something stopping the police from intervening on the drug deals. So start stepping into the drug deals, which is also another touchy situation because
Yeah, that's a good point about the people not doing anything. It's like, oh, you can do whatever you want for your freedom, but eventually that whole cycle doesn't work. The libertarian idea, because once you start doing all these drugs, you're not free. You get locked into the drug scene. It's terrible. I mean, it's awful. I mean, like I said, I think what shocks me is this: over in Mass and Cass, there's an extra number of people over there. They don't want to clean it up. I think they just use them as props. They just want to use them as props. They look how terrible.
It's left this way on purpose. I mean, we were seeing people in 2020 get picked up by paddy wagons from Southie and brought down to Mass and Cass. So they were relocating people because these people were all spread out around the city, and they relocated them to here. You have 2 methadone clinics right in that area and the House of Corrections.
So when you bring these questions up to people that are in office right now, what do? They roll their eyes, or what do they do?
They all agree that this is a major problem in the city and that we need to do something. There's a couple of city councilors that have advocated for Section 35s, but nothing's happening. And nothing's happening because, Michelle Wu and higher up don't want anything to happen because you can't campaign on a problem if you solve the problem.
Yeah. This is all.
You have to keep the problems going to be able to make the campaign promises of, I'm going to fix this.
I think I read one time that they talk about the people over Mass and Castle, and let's say in the general area. They act like there's a million of them. They're not a million of them. There's just a group of them that they're in and out. They're all mixed up with each other. And all of a sudden, if someone brings an attention, all of a sudden their hair goes on fire, and all of a sudden they just put a Band-Aid thing on it. It really sucks. It really sucks. Any elected official listen, we need all our citizens squared away, okay? Drugs is not the answer. Every time like I said, I'm down in Congressional District 8, and every time I see one of these pot houses, okay, not a good idea. No, and the drugs in general. Listen, the reason I say that is you could take drugs for pain. I've had 8 surgeries from sports, okay, so I know what that is. To me, and
that's where it all started.
And I said the number one thing you can do to help yourself is exercise. I know that's not a simplistic for a lot of people, and it may not be appropriate for them, but this has got to stop.
But also vitamin C and food is medicine, because pharmaceutical drugs are the problem. So I know that we don't necessarily agree on this topic, Rob.
It's okay.
But
you're a youngster. I like it.
Pharmaceutical drugs are the issue. Whether it's narcotics or Tylenol, they're a problem.
Hey, it's 6:57. Obviously, go to the website at WuVille.bar. You can give us a call at 617-915-4009, or maybe go on the chat. Listen, it's going to take a little while for us to get people to participate, but we want you to come in, ask some questions, leave some messages so we can follow up. So, Catherine, have you seen anything that they're going to do in the Boston City Council, or have you heard any of the other candidates? I'm going to ask this question again. Talk about anything except what do they talk about when you say, hey, listen, we're at Clifford Park right here. The football coach is talking about it. Only because he talked about it, they come running over,
So here's my thing about the city council candidates. They either they talk about it in the sense that they say, oh, mass and Cass is a public health issue or a public safety issue, and we need to fix it. But they don't say how. And then the couple of ones that do say that they want to start with Section 35s, everybody jumps down their throat about it because it's a violation of people's rights, and whatever. We violated people's rights for the past 3 years, and we don't want to talk about that.
Of course.
But
Of course not.
they don't have a solution. And I mean, we have 3 incumbents. At least for the at-large race, which is the one that I'm in, we have 3 incumbents, and so they've all been there for at least 2 years, or 3 years for Julia Mejia, almost 4. So if they haven't done anything yet, what makes us think that they're going to?
We're just doing a little show
do something
here
now.
We're talking about the drug situation over in the park, and Clifford Park, and we're just talking about it in general. What do you think about the situation in Boston with the drug scene? I mean, this is terrible. I mean, you work. That's a gymnasium, right? And so, do you ever run into people like that over here, just all drugged out, or?
It's really scary.
Speak. You don't have to identify. This is Catherine Vitale. She's running for Boston City Council.
Hi.
Just put it right up to your mouth.
I just came out of the pool.
It's okay. Don't worry. Hey, so I'm going to speak up loud. So you've been coming to this facility. This is at I'm sorry. Thanks. 150. What street is this now? Norfolk Ave for a while, huh? What you come early and you leave early. What is it that when you come out, do you shake your head, say, "What is this?" Or are they all over the place, or is it going seasonal with the weather, or what happens?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. It's like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? What's going on here? I come early because I just want to go in and get out. You know what I mean? I don't want to see all the sceneries. Like, for instance, yesterday when I came out, there was garbage behind, and I looked because I was like waiting for my ride, and all of a sudden there was a guy sleeping there. I was like, oh, this is so scary. It's like it bothers me, but it's.
Do you ever contact anybody at all, or complain, or say, listen, this is going to stop?
I was going to yesterday, but what happened was my ride got here, and I said, oh, I gotta go.
Got it.
Yes.
But just as a regular person that's just trying to go to the gym and go to work, you got to step over stuff or whatever that is. It's just such a distraction. And again, the people. Hey, I want to save as many people as I can. I'll always help the helpless, but not the clueless. And it just seems like there's a lot going on, and we need to get our arms. So Catherine is a local girl running for Boston City Council. She is at large, and she is a Boston girl. So hopefully you'll consider voting for her down the road a piece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I just hope that somebody does something about it. Because really, I mean, there's too many homeless people around, and really. The government should do something, and I don't know if they have anything to do with it, but I don't know how this whole scenario works. But
when you talk to, say, your girlfriends or people in the neighborhood, do they have any? They all saying the same thing to you? Because you must talk to maybe people died there.
Oh yeah, especially the people that pick me up. When I get picked up and go home, they just say this is horrible. And it bothers me, and it's sad. The whole thing is horribly sad.
Well, I want to thank you for stopping by and saying hello, okay? We're just trying to, this is Catherine Vitale, Boston City Council at large. Maybe you consider her, okay? Vitale.
You too.
Thank you, miss. So anyways, that's just a man on the street. It's always important to get the feelings of these people. Actually, if I roll the camera over here, I'm sorry about that, folks. We're getting closer. That's actually like a gymnasium over there with a pool. It looks like there's a pool there, and this lady looks like she's been coming here for a while. So, hey, listen, I wish we could articulate all the policies and all the great words and all that type of stuff, but this is just regular people we want to talk to, because that's what it's all about. It's not top down. It's going to be bottom up. So, Catherine, it's 7:03, and so you've been over here a couple times, haven't you?
This is my first time coming over to Clifford Park. I've been at Mass and Cass a few times.
And what do they just migrate over here, or is this a safe spot? Because that field is, you need to have these fields in good shape. Like I said, that coach was excellent for not letting people destroy his football.
Well, I mean, they got all the tents set up on Atkinson Street and sometimes along Southampton Street over there. But they probably come over here to try to get some privacy and get away from the rest of the people in the tents and stuff, because they rob each other. You can't just leave your stuff there. And we heard some things about, not only an open drug trade here, there's an open sex trade.
Got it.
So, these people are fearing for their lives, just like us, people that have to walk through here, and people that are using this park and this school over here and 1010 Mass Ave, people who have to walk through it might be scared to walk through it, but imagine what it is to live in it. So they probably come over here to try to gain some type of privacy or safety from the other people that they're around.
So we're moving forward here. We want to. We're up to the 5 people right now. Thank you, you 5 beautiful people. And again, you folks, if you see it a little bit later, pass this on. We'll be in every neighborhood in the city of Boston for the next, obviously, Catherine's primary is September 5th. Is that what it is?
No, I don't have a preliminary. It's a preliminary because it's a nonpartisan race.
Yeah.
The at-large doesn't have the preliminary because there's only 8 candidates. So we're November 7th.
So, and when is the election? November
7th.
November 7th. So we have a little bit of time here. And as we say, every day we try to add another little feature to the broadcast. Always looking, we'll be posting basically a schedule.
And we're going to be talking about the 4 issues.
Yes, we've got number one.
My campaign. Number 1 is housing and homelessness. Number 2 is the opioid crisis. Number 3 is education. And number 4 is, what is number 4?
Parental control.
No.
Which one?
No. Violence.
Violence. We can't more violence. But like I said, we're trying to get this down to a science. But we need you. We need your help. That was a great little interview by that lady. We didn't know. I just asked if we could speak. She was. A lot of people won't go on camera. They're all afraid of being on camera. Sorry, folks. Just be on camera. Mm-mm. It's important that we hear your
You're
opinion.
On camera anyway.
Everybody's on camera.
No matter where you go, you're on camera.
There's got to be a camera, at least one around here someplace. Yeah. But listen, we want you to pass it on to wokeandwuville.boston. You can go online there and send us an email, and we'll get back to you. And maybe it's something we can talk about. What I was getting at, we're going to post the subject, so you can just take a look at it and then say, hey, listen, maybe you don't want to come on, or maybe you want, because we can bring you in on a camera from remote line. You can come in on a phone call, or you send us a text or an email. And this is the way it's done. You participate, we listen. It's your show, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
And
I think this week we'll be doing First Amendment Friday.
First Amendment Friday.
And,
yes, First Amendment Friday is always a good one. It's always a good one. We'll do a little civics course on free speech, what it really means.
Free speech is not a crime. Although living in Massachusetts, you may think that it is.
So we again, our format's going to be tighter and tighter and tighter, focused on maybe we'll talk about 3 issues and probably come in and just focus on one. And depending on what happens with the people coming by, calling in, or going to the social media stuff, I'm looking at my feed, which is at Burko Eyes, and Catherine has all her stuff there. And if you have any suggestions, please feel free. We don't mind the feedback. I got some good feedback from some people.
Feel free to give feedback. Feel free to come on the show.
Yeah.
Come out and help us.
I just get pounded by some feedback, which is really good. But it's important that we know, because we're not professional at this yet. But I think by the next week, we'll have all the technical issues out, and we're looking at a little audio mixer down below. And if it gets too loud, we're noticing some things, and this is good. Hey, listen, so tomorrow is Thursday. Any idea what we're going to be talking about? What's the subject we'd like to talk about tomorrow? Any idea?
Tomorrow, I think we'll be talking about small businesses.
Yeah, small businesses would be a great one. We gotta, that's a good point. Small business, right? The meetings we went to, or listening to these people on your little Zoom calls with all the candidates' positions. All they talked about was government programs.
Yeah.
That's all they talk about is
Why?
government
Like,
stuff.
when did it become that everybody who works in government only has a background in public works, like in public sector work?
Now,
Like they've never had real jobs.
now Catherine is the queen of coffee.
Yeah,
the queen
I
of
worked at Dunkin' Donuts for 14 years, and I've done other things. I worked at Home Depot. I worked at a property management company. I did door-to-door sales
Morning,
in
sir. How are you?
Arizona.
Just talking about the issues out here. We're talking about Clifford Park and all the debris out there. That's not a good idea out there. You know what I mean? If you're a sports kid, you don't want anything like that. But we're out here. This is Catherine Vitale. She's running for Boston City Council at large. We're doing our own show on the fly. You take, yeah, make sure. What's the number one issue, by the way, that's bothering you, or hacking you off, as they say?
Right here. The work like a body damage. The time you come and work, you go have to go in the tree. For the people park all the car, the place you have to work. This is no good. Sometimes I live right here.
Yeah.
My wife come on sometimes go around the park. If the time come on the tree, I have to go in the middle of the tree. But a lot of car parking.
Yeah, so that's called densification.
Yeah.
They make it so you can't drive cars, but they make it so you can't walk either. It's like you gotta fly. Do you have wings? Yeah.
Yeah, but the
Microphone.
thing is, sometimes I speak to the police about that.
And do they do anything?
They not do anything, you know. All right.
Thanks a lot, sir. You have a wonderful day.
All right.
Catherine Vitale, Boston City. So going back to that issue we just talked about, it's always we lose it, but we always try to definitely grab someone on the street, because that's where it is. Because these people can talk about an issue like that, just a little simple thing that's irritating that person about all the crazy stuff. I don't think these people in government know how to do anything. I don't think they know how to do anything.
They just know how to talk and how to form sentences with the buzzwords, and they don't offer any solutions.
They just talk, and then they always
talk,
you can always hold the jockey. Hey, listen, we're gonna wrap this up right now. It's 7-Eleven. No, we're not going to 7-Eleven, but it's 7-Eleven right now, and this is better. We're getting better at this every single day, and we try to get better. We always want the feedback. So if you're seeing this later on a replay, pass it to your friends. Get some questions in. Hey, listen, we're not experts. I had some guy telling me something. He was acting like I was working for CBS News or something. I'm going, come on, man. If you want to come on, come on.
I know.
It's okay, though.
We are not professionals.
So we're going to do small business tomorrow. And as a small business owner, I deliver things when I'm not shooting sports videos, so I get that. And they make it really difficult to talk about any type of small business. Without small business, we're out of luck here. Government doesn't create anything. All they do is take money, and that's all they do. So I'm going to sign up. Hey, this is my name is Rob Burke. Rob Burke at Burkawise on Twitter. Burke for Congress in the Congressional District, and this is
Catherine Vitale, candidate for Boston City Council at large. If you want to follow or get involved with the campaign or make a contribution, go to vitaleforboston.com.
Nice seeing you again, folks. Tuning in.